What up, y'all? Snake Almighty, aka the Global Dark Skin Ambassador. And this video for this Rikers Island story is about how I believe and I know for a fact that the Bloods are the most disloyal gang in Rikers Island, probably in every New York prison, okay? And guess what? Disclaimer. If you're a Blood, right, and you was raised by a single mom and you don't know how to control your emotions, this video ain't for you. Go eat a Frank somewhere. Go put a Frankfurt in your mouth. This ain't for you. Because I don't got time. I don't got time for you gang members who want to threaten everybody because you got a bunch of other stupid people that arrive for you and help you do a crime just so y'all can all go to jail and snitch on each other. This is for all gang members, including the Bloods, who understand the truth of what I'm saying, because I used to always hear the Bloods say, every homie ain't your homie. I grew up around Bloods. So clearly, that obviously means that the video I'm about to make, there's some truth to it. So this is for the real rights. This is for the dudes who can understand what I'm saying without taking it personal. Because of course, not every Blood is the type of Blood that I'm talking about. But I'm talking about in general, okay? Based off of what I know, based off of what I seen when I was in prison, based off of what I seen and know about before I went to jail and prison, based off of what I seen and know about the Bloods from when I've been home. And no, I'm not going to directly talk about any particular sets, because that's not what this is about, because the stupidity and the disloyalty I seen come from any set you could possibly name. And if you are Blood and you're a part of any of these sets, you've seen disloyalty and you can understand what I'm talking about. So with that being said, this video is about how the Bloods are, unfortunately, the most disloyal gang in Rikers Island / New York State prison, period. And I can only speak on New York, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. They're not the most disloyal gang because they're the Bloods. They're the most disloyal gang because the number one thing I would say is because of the sheer number of Bloods. Now, how many Bloods do we have in New York? 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, anywhere between 20,000 and 100,000, right? And you got to be realistic and think of it this way. The disloyalty comes from the fact that the sheer numbers are so high. You know, it's the same as what one would say, the people who run, you know what I mean, the world or the government, how they might feel like there's too many people on the planet. It's harder to control so many people. So we may need to come up with reasons, or we may need to come up with ways to decrease the population of the country or the world so people are easier to control. You gotta understand that when you talk about the Bloods are the biggest gang in New York City. They got the highest numbers. And they'll probably be overtaken, you know what I mean, by the Trinitarios in the next 5-10 years. But right now, it's still the Bloods. Their numbers are so high and there's so many sets, there's so many leaders, okay? So there's no way you're gonna get everyone to be on one accord about every single thing. Like, pretty much the only thing that all the Bloods in New York are in accord with is that they're Blood. And then you gotta understand, if we wanna be percentage-wise, probably only about 10% of Bloods are actual leaders, you know what I mean? Leaders, men who stand on principle, men who go to jail and they not gonna snitch, you know? Like for instance, I talk about how I know, how I'm familiar, I don't personally know, but I've been around him and all of that. I'm not even gonna say his name, but I've been around Bloods who, they're officials, they're real leaders, you know? They've done things for the community. You know, they've been locked up, they didn't snitch, you know, they did their time and came home. Or they beat trial, they came home, you know, they turned their life around, this, that, and the third. But for every one blood like that, there's 1,000 who just want to be violent, who just want protection, or who just, they want to be a part of something because they can't stand on their own too. And now this ain't just the Bloods. This could apply to the Crips, you know, any other gang, you know, put insert name. But it's like their numbers are so high. There's so many different factions. There's so many different leaders. And leaders who may never meet each other personally. They may only speak to each other on the phone at some point, or run into each other in prison, or speak through, like, sending a letter, sending a kite or whatever. It's like, how do you get all of these people to be on one accord? And that's where the disloyalty comes from. And now when you come, and then when you go into the prison system, now you got a whole bunch of people who, everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody wants to be a chief. Not enough Indians. Everybody wants to be a leader, not enough followers. And to be a good leader, you gotta be a good follower first. You got a bunch of people who, half these dudes, they joined in because someone who they was really cool with, or they had a relative who was a high-ranking gang member, and that's why he's a part of it. It's like almost no blood joins the Bloods for the reason that they said the Bloods started in the first place in LA, which was to protect the communities against their oppressors. No blood today joins the Bloods for that reason. They join the Bloods because, you know, that's all they knew their whole life. It's something to do when there's nothing to do. And I just want to be a part of this so I can feel tough. Most people who join gangs, they just want to feel tough, you know, because, you know, they're pushed by themselves. I've seen disloyalty within the Bloods to a certain fact where there could be two different Bloods from two different sets, and they are the house rulers. But now you have a new guy come in who's the same set of one of the guys who is the leader. And after a while, you'll have the two guys on the same set. Behind closed doors, they're conspiring to get the other guy from the different set out of the house. They trying to find somebody who want to turn blood, right? To take that missile, you know what I mean? Cut the dude face, or pop on him, get him packed up, or get them sent to the box for extortion. It's a whole lot of untrustworthy things going on, you know what I'm saying? When it's things like drug money within prison going on, disloyalty amongst Bloods and other gangs, it happens, right? And then when you get to like maximum prisons and stuff like that, and you even have a he-she come in, a trans or something, you have gang members, they'll betray each other over that, over who got the rights to the booty of a man. This is the type of things that we dealing with. Like, the disloyalty amongst the Bloods is very real, and it's like I said, it's not because they're blood. It's because their numbers are so high. It's because their numbers are so high, and then there's not like a 1, 2, or 3 really super charismatic, like enigmatic, like leaders that could galvanize and bring everyone together. It's just a whole lot of slime balls. Like, it's mostly slime balls. First of all, New York gangs, period. Every gang in New York is mostly slime balls, if not all slime balls. You know what I mean? Even though I got a bigger emphasis on the Bloods right now, you know what I'm saying? But it's a whole bunch of slime balls, and there's no, like, they were not put on by leaders who have a certain type of mind state. You know what I'm saying? These are like, they're not put on. There's no more leaders in the Bloods. You know what I mean? that are brand new, that's coming into this, who have like a militarized mind state. There's no leaders. There's almost no leaders, especially no leaders like my age or younger, coming in and they read the autobiography of Malcolm X. You know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's Letter to a Black Man, or any kind of self-improvement book like that. They haven't read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, or, you know what I mean, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. By the way, I've read all these books, by the way, right? Where it would militarize their mind for them to think like, we got to bring this together so we could do more than just beat people up, steal from people. You know what I mean? Be cancer to our community. You know what I mean? And that's why these situations is how it is now. With every gang, you feel me? But you know, that's a little bit of why I say the Bloods are the most disloyal gang in Rikers Island / New York prisons. Like I said, if you took this personal and I didn't even name your set, then you're just a clown. You're just a clown and you acting light skinned. Like, I'm just keeping it real. I've been there. Like, shit, comment, subscribe, man. Peace.